am 19. It is 4 in the morning. I am sitting shotgun in a car heading south down I-95 through the emptiest shadows of North Carolina. It is August. The air so full of moisture that opening the windows was like drawing baths. We are following the tour bus of a band you've never heard of. 12 shows in 2 weeks. My friend Sarah falls asleep at the wheel. I am unconscious on illicit booze and bad weed. We clip the back of a semi, spin like Katrina's kitchen, and flatten our front end on a guardrail. The Buick's ribcage was punched through, impaled on a cross of iron. Miraculously, we walked from that car, bumped and woozy, and sat by the roadside without cell phones, praying for help. Not 5 minutes later, a car slows and pulls beside us. A man walks. He passes on our pleas and hands us pamphlets about Jesus. Why are you here, he wants to know. Why is God punishing you, he demanded. And before he walked off to leave us on a roadside in the bowels of the South, he flashed a yellow bracelet that read WWJD. Think about it, kids. What would Jesus do? Good question, asshole. What would Jesus do? Now, I am not a theist. I put as much stock in the legends of Jesus as I do the modern version of the tale that he rose from the dead, that a giant bunny rabbit delivers chocolate eggs in the night. I put as much stock in the water bending of Moses as I do dudes in red suits landing flying reindeer on my roof. Why are all these fantastic characters able to enter our children's bedroom in the night? Someone needs to catch a goddamn predator. And every time an article in the paper conjures the images of a deacon sliding his dick from the mouth of a 7-year-old boy, I ask myself, what would Jesus do? Every time I see a woman with a bumper sticker that reads, God is pro-life, hiding dynamite in a dumpster next to a clinic, I ask myself, what would Jesus do? When I see the Family Values Clique spend tens of millions of dollars to protest against homosexuals being afforded the same rights to medical insurance and inheritance as a straight couple can be, I ask myself, what would Jesus do? Would he spend that money towards finding the cure for AIDS or blame homosexuals for its very existence? What would Jesus do? When I see myself at 7 years old, handling history books to tell the tale of a holy war, a crusade against the plague of Islam. Fast forward and see modern Muslim radicals condemned for their holy war. I ask myself, what would Jesus do? Rewind back to the history books and see the Klan's burning cross. What would Jesus do? Fast forward, I see preachers speak of a burning bush. What would Jesus do? Rewind, I see dogs and hoses in Alabama. Fast forward, I see fathers in Fayetteville still condemn the men their daughters chose to bring home before they even open their mouths. What would Jesus do? Rewind, I see Leviticus spanking slaves and concubines. Fast forward, I see 13-year-old Mormon brides. What would Jesus do? What was the mouth of your Christ child? What was your golden rule? Who was your Messiah, Christian children? Ask me not these questions, sons of Abraham. Ask me, what would Jesus do? Jesus would have lifted our car from the guardrail and mended the engine with his mind. Would have flown us to a hotel in his flaming chariot, picked up a tab and cooked us omelets in the morning. So the least you can do, Christian, is lend me 2 quarters for a payphone and give me a lift back to town. So ask yourself the question stamped on your wrist, Christian. But when caught between love and hate, between compassion and an insistence on guilt, what the fuck would Jesus actually do?